Yes?
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Wait, haven't you heard this before?
Downstairs, somewhere? Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout. The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves.
The lieutenant pauses. Something seems to be pecking at the edge of his concentration. He gives you a sideways look before adding,
Long and cold.
"There's no time to dwell on this moment. You've got to keep moving." A hollow ring. The canister is empty. Dust falls from...
I don't know.
That is his idea of a joke.
Someone who is...
The wind outside picks up suddenly.
I don't know.
That is his idea of... A small agony. Minuscule bones may have fractured, but he nods approvingly. He even smiles. The wind outside picks up suddenly, with a faint howl. Inside, it's warm.
Liquid, the kind that's
The lieutenant...
long and...
There's no time to dwell on this. There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft-cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracal blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh.
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain, thick as molasses, no longer able to hear yourself speak.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead. Yes,
You don't have to be. The greasy...
The offer still stands. Take it. You don't look so good.
You face the concrete wall. There's less light there, in the dark corner. Like a dog, you lie there. The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass. Half an hour, maybe. The sounds of the sea beyond grow distant. Your eyelids close until you feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening. Sleep. Dolorous Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state turns around to face you. She has an airship airbag in her hand. She seems to be in a hurry, off to advise the Queen of Shest, most likely. This is the Holy Suzerain of Mwindi and Insulinda. Definitely not your wife. I don't know, man. What is the Holy Suzerain doing here? Something seems off.
Hey. I mean, hey to you too? I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. Well, how are you doing, Harry? Don't say that.
This is everything I always want.
Hey. Yes. Hey. I'm doing really good, actually. Both... God, Harry, you have to take care of yourself.
Desperate. This is everything.
Hey. I'm doing... Well, I'm in my head too. We're all in our heads. Sometimes. Not as often as I used to. So much time has passed. More than it seems here.
This is everything I always warned you about.
I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to...
She means she doesn't have time to tend to your... She sighs and looks over.
Moreover, to live there in... kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime. Just my scepter, my globe cruciger, a spare silk gown, a toothbrush. Oh, this. This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium. It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity.
She looks at the suitcase, not knowing what more to say. Then, over her shoulder.
Anyway. No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive, epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really. We don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us. Our love. Our unborn daughters. It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever. That's just the way it is.
Oh God, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try now.
I don't want it. It looks expensive. I don't want it. That's not what figurines do, Harry.
She looks at the headless Found Rider between your fingers. The figurines don't do anything? Anything at all? But yes, I thought it would be good.
No, please. Please don't give me anything. Harry, I don't want things. I didn't ask for things. It's too late to give me anything. I would have liked these things a long time ago, but now, only boring hell remains. It's not, but... I don't know why I said but. There is no but. That's it, yes. We've talked about it a million times. You will get over it, just like I did. People do. Things will get good for you again.
Where in hell? Stop. You're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything.
It just takes some time. For you, I think it will take something like 20 years, maybe? It was hard for me too, you know? I used to think I couldn't live without you. But I can.
She keeps her shoulders squared and her back straight, but it's clear you're still making her sad.
Yes. It only took me 1 year, maybe 2. Phew. Yes. But that time is gone now. So very gone. It's okay. What other things? We've been through all the things, Harry. I don't know what you mean. Dolores Day? Wasn't I Dolores Day just a second ago? Now I'm the X thing? I haven't even bought the tickets yet.
We all told you. Everyone warned you.
Everyone. Literally all of you.
I'm glad too, but I have to go. My friends are waiting for me on the platform. I can't let them wait. It's impolite. I will. The morning? I don't understand. Oh my God, Harry, stop. I don't want to hear anything about the morning. Mourning someone who's still alive. I can't do that anymore. I'm not 80 years old, I'm 32. People my age are not supposed to... Yes, Harry, I am. Things have gotten much better for me, now that I am the ruler of the known world.
A tiny golden watch with red straps around her bony little wrists. She doesn't know what to say.
Yes, okay. I'm glad. Do you know how much it...
Total annihilation. We got annihilated, Harry. You never had any power. You never were a moralist. Or anything. You can't even be insane or shit anymore. You have to be nothing. Nothing without the...
It's not. But... that's it.
Where? Stop. You're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything. Oh yeah, are you? She's about her innocence, Dolores Day. See? I don't understand.
We were bad for each other, okay? I was bad for you. Can you not see? I'm bad. I had to stop. I couldn't just turn into a bad person. You will get better. It just takes some time. For you, I think it will take something like 20, but...
She keeps her shoulders squared and her back straight, but it's clear you're still making her sad.
No, Harry. We can't. We already tried again, and it didn't work.
Is that how it is now? We should just try, not you too.
I don't know. Please. Harry.
She avoids turning them to you. They're turning moist now. Her eyes. She slowly shakes her head and...
You know what I mean. A little down. You've worked there for so long, you can't even talk like a normal person anymore. It's always lists with you. Questions.
Questions? Did someone say questions?
This is another one, isn't it? We're in a tree right now. It's not just the lists or trees or whatever. You get sad, Harry. Too sad. People can't get that sad. It's impossible to watch. Other people get sad too, but not like you. You stay down for too long. You only communicated with encyclopedic trivia. I was so alone. In conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man. And you have to be in hell until the end of your life. And I have to go to Morova. We both said a lot of things. We were very young.
It was her. I can feel it. I can see it in her tender, long fingers, in her wrists. Her hand wrote it, said those things.
As Queen Regnant, I write a lot of letters.
You need to recite it to her, for effect. All of it. No summaries. Yeah, put a stake through your heart. She'll get hurt too. Collateral damage. She won't get hurt. She'll bend out of the way.
Okay, Harry. Okay, it was morning and you slept. The room smelled of cigarettes and Rowans. There was hoarfrost on the ground when I left. It was autumn, the first one we had together. But you have to understand, it was 1,000,000 years ago. It was 100 million years ago. I was someone else then, filled to the brim with love for you, hanging on your every word. Oh, Harry, you were the coolest. But I am no longer that person. This has taken her place. It will devour you. Harry, I will eat your mind.
The light of the video rental shines through her dress now. A DeLorean figure, cut in black, moves below. It's still her. Her legs, her breasts, her hips.
The coolest. With your leather jacket and your boot-cut pants, smoking in the bus stop. I wanted you to be the rest of my life that day. And you were. Some of it, at least. You were my first. My first kiss. My first time to have sex. The first and worst time I fell in love. I will always have that with me. It's a fact. But that is all it is. It's like a ticket stub, Harry. It doesn't do anything anymore. Yes, let's talk about that too. Let's bring it up, the zoo. In Le Jardin, the day we went east of the river, to the aquarium first, I was sad about my mother. I don't even know why. The shimmer of the fish tank on... It was just a day then, but to think... Were we there now, you could touch my hair, kiss me, talk to me about anything, go virtually anywhere in the world. Not like now. Now our interactions are limited to pain and regret. And my crown of immortality? No. You scared her out of me. With your crying, the awful time we wound up having. And the cheap rental flats you could afford. Can't you see? I can never think you're cool again. I can only think that way about new people.
A cheap rental with mold on the walls and the tap dripping.
Yes, I have found someone for whom I can feel the same. A copy of my love for you, only this time he is careful and rich. He will not lose me. It will go somewhere, it will grow.
Your heart burns. Through the blackness you feel the trickle of blood on the mattress below you.
Harry, do you notice how none of this is very funny?
She smiles mysteriously, looking east, then turns her gaze back to you.
It's here, Harry. We are on Voyager Road. At the end of it, 300 meters from the stop. We used to come here to rent videos. There. You could not pay the electrical bill. It became a lightless tomb. The years you spent training for the militia, my parents' money, it was not good.
Surely the alcohol didn't help either.
Everyone has a little glass of wine every now and then. I certainly do. It's a queen regnant thing. I don't think it was the alcohol. It was inevitability. 42. That is the light rail that took me to Coron, to school and work. Every morning. It's the same stop I met you at, Harry. No human being should still remember the position of atoms such eons ago. It must feel unnaturally sad. A sadness so ancient, it is shared even by archaebacteria. Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we have already talked about. Talk about it again. If you do not feel like doing that, you should let me go to the aerodrome.
Don't let her. Don't let her go there. You should redo the topics. Go over everything. The things you didn't say before, too. Make it go on and on.
That is very contested by modern historians. You're only saying this because things didn't work out between us. I have to go to the aerodrome now. I don't have time to defend myself from these accusations. I'm not that either. Can't I just be? I am actually very ordinary, Harry. Below this gown and wreath, I have an ordinary soul and ordinary thoughts. The only thing inhuman about me is this. This thing you've made me into. I'm sorry for saying so, but I just hate it. What is this? This is so far gone, Harry. I don't even... My lungs do not glow, Harry.
She will, once you have erected the Temple of Light.
An immortal Temple of Light. That sounds nice. I do want someone to do that for me. Who wouldn't?
An apricot-scented ghost wafts out of her, her skin, the fabric, into the flow of the air around you. With your feet trembling from the steps you took, tepid and fearful, you stand against her, her body close to you, radiating warmth. She is not kissing you back. This was not about failure or success. This was always going to be horror. I should not have suggested it. Her chest rising like a pillow, warm, hidden, distant, kept safe from you. Feels like soft fuzz, a bird covered in down feathers, the world's most precious material, reserved for those she lets close enough to feel it. A delicate wreath on her forehead, pressing into your temple. The silver is cold from the spring. Her hand does not return the grip. Her body is distrust. For you, the curve of her spine, her shoulders hunched. Nothing, just pillows against you. Apricot-scented chewing gum. The moment is ending. She is going to move her face away from yours. Trying hard not to look at you. When she withdrew and you held on to her hand, she tried not to look at your face and see the expression there. Brother, you should put me in front of a firing squad. I have no words for how I failed you.
No, I'm just Dora.
She breathes out heavily, as if something painful has passed through her, and shakes her head. She shakes her head one more time. The evening wind.
Why did you do that to yourself? You know I don't cheat, Harry. I never cheated on you. No, Harry. Not yet. There is one more thing you have to see. I'm pregnant. Of course not. I terminated yours. Don't you remember? You poor fuck. Poverty-stricken fuck. Now, go ahead. Ask me more questions. Let's talk about something else.
No, this has to end. Do the last one. More questions. Ask more.
I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed...
Lies, sire. She cannot but love you. She has said so 100 times.
No, that would only be painful and dull. At the aerodrome, life, love, and laughter are waiting for me. That was someone else. I betrayed her, overwrote her, and am happier for it. And I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight. I won't see you, but you will see me. Oh, Harry, this is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now. Who knows how long ago this happened? A year? 2? 5 years ago? Right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started happening again. I'm suffocatingly beautiful. And young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum. Like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. After leaving you the first time. So long ago. Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death, or war, or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow.
You're up quick. How was your sleep? I did not want to wake you. Perhaps I should have? Was it a job dream?
The lieutenant nods solemnly. I understand. We've all been through similar things. It can be overcome.
Okay.
He's still worried. You must have really thrashed and squealed in your sleep. The greasy old spring mattress lies.
Yes?
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized. Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures. Popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists TNT Harpin, husband and wife. Widely read by people from all walks of life. Who doesn't like nature? Who doesn't want to survive? Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Oh yes, under the bed, there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory, that is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Ouzia. It's not exactly light reading.
Ouzia. I agree. Humanitarian sciences.
Your incendiary remark has failed to provoke him. Wasn't there some in the communist students' room?
Well, yes.
The little books seem inconsequential. Next.
Again,
Interesting. Soft covers.
Again.
Interesting. You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one, a heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional keyhole.
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable. Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
All right, I retract my statement. It was naive. Let's look around and get it open.
The heavy metal door stands as it did. Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. The keys rattle like teeth.
The console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. Possibly. Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radiodiffusé. It sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does.
This device was used to control the electronics in the room. It could open doors, control lights, function.
We need to restore. We should look around outside.
The boat engine.
But officer, then we would have to swim back to the mainland.
The consul stands by, mutely. Urgence?
Electric, possibly.
This device was used to control. Nothing happens. The dial slides under the glass. An idea lights up in your head.
This is an air-gapped system. Of air, I think they call it. That won't work. No, I'm not. But it would not be very good military technology if...
A strange feeling, looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea, leave it all, and walk in. Perhaps there's someone there, under the water, waiting for you, where it has always been, smelling of tutti frutti and betrayal. Maybe you know it's going to hurt. Yes, cold and still, but love is warm like the inside of her mouth. Yes, 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 yes. No, we're not starting with that. Not now. Not. In the still mirror of the bay, you see Martinez reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too, islets and posts, like stepping stones. There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stand and an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts. The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri. Contemporary Revacholians prefer Druan, a local blend from the southern islands, or Astra, the legendary cigarette from Grad.
I may have been wrong when I said it wasn't important. This means the same person could have visited both locations. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside, though. If people live there, they keep it tidy.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window. Quite old and grimy from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain. The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation. A tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water, the ruins look familiar. A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire, Capeside apartments. The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the Whirling in Rags, Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 10, the doomed commercial area. The box-shaped silhouette of the Whirling in Rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop, sunlight reflecting off the upstairs window.
What does that mean? Do you have line of sight to the window?
More than that.
A pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
Cheek against a cheek rest, hand on the hair trigger, on a calm day like this.
Good. I think we have it, Detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Affirmative.
Why? We don't go everywhere in a 1,000-meter radius of the crime scene. That's not procedure. Don't beat yourself up, officer. We did not put guns in their hands.
The lieutenant pauses. Regret comes over him.
We will make up for it. Here. I feel it. Where?
He does not answer.
We should move now.
The spring trepid,
Yes?
This old cylindrical generator waits with its fuel cap. The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank. There's a red starter switch. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like...
That should do it.
The heavy metal door stands as it did, firmly rusted shut. A dim golden glow animates the
It's on.
automatic boot. The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
After you. So did I. Not back there, but I felt it since we came here. I don't know. Don't worry. I have a gun. I know. It was not easy to acquire.
A dim golden glow. The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle. A dim ambient orange. The dial slides under the dusty glass, dark and silent.
Insular.
It's an air-gapped system. An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
The what now? I can't hear you. I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position.
The position sounds like a hiding place.
Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up. My eyesight? Yes, helps me see all the shit. I did. And you opened it. How? I should have burned that console down. Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM. I did.
We have entered a world where he said you shouldn't. It is the only world.
Sad FM, huh? I always hated that station. Phlegmatic, counter-revolutionary dirges. Sadness is a mental illness. A weapon of the bourgeoisie. The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music. It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done. It's a Triangong 446.
Southeast Samaran made. Exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern...
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Signal commune. Military aid.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
It's not nice. It's a Triangong...
Southeast...
A Samaran...
It was sent to us.
It has stayed true to him.
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from the board. Yes, I bet you've killed a lot of people with it. You fascist fuck. Have you come to make me one of them?
His right eye twitches. With what?
We have come to ask you questions. Nothing more. If you do not comply, we will take you in. Do you understand?
The lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
His elbows rest on the frame stock, calmly for now. But he may still get it in his hands. You don't see a magazine in the well.
You're right. It's a good thing I got one in the chamber.
Oh, wait. Yes.
No. put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
Like an amputated limb in the sand, he stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. A strange sadness, like
the future teaches you to be alone.
The present.
The present to be afraid and cold. Real music. Real Proletkult. That's La Révacholière, not your rock and roll misanthropy. Chanson de soldat of the black and whites. The job of a shitlicker. It is the anthem of the world revolution. One of 3. In Grad, they sang Brave Children, favorites of history. And in Sinyao, it was some Samaran shit, I guess. Everyone has. They named a fucking perfume after it. Talk to her? It's the drug.
There was something there when he said, talked to her. He was curious.
I've seen kids lose their minds and start talking to the city, asking it to protect them when the shelling gets bad, calling it cities can't talk. It's bourgeois idealism. I don't want to talk about this shit anymore. Everyone has. They named a fucking perfumer. Talk to her? God's shithouse.
There was something there when he said,
I've seen cities can't talk. How did it go? Something about shooting rabbits.
He waves erratically with his hand, annoyed that it was dear to him. He resents forgetting it. His gaze follows your motions. The rifle still warm from his parched hands. Not the metal. The metal is ice cold. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burned into the wood. Triangle, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
No one said it has to be a Belmagrave. We were just guessing.
From ballistics, it could easily have been a triangle, too.
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti Shanti. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. And it does. The right type and the right calibre.
He's liking this.
I wonder how old it is.
The old man does not answer. He just stares in front of him. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. Some kind of involuntary response? Something is slightly off with his motorics. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time.
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in '08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
(51 minus 8 equals 43).
No. I've been on other islands, too. I was an resurrection until they turned it into a spa in '18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago. 43 years and 10 months. It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting. Always waiting. Always. For her to return.
Her who?
Girl child. Revolution. Always. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do. I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too. You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took. For reaction to take hold. Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men. It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked. It's impossible not to be afraid.
And this was when?
May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds, storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic. The combined might of international capital, all at once, all the greed and terror in the world, tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the Flak Tower. Huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room. I ran. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers underground, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring. Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality. The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love, all the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know that the bourgeois are not human. I had to fight it. I had to never stop. You could say, a sec for reaction to take hold.
He does not believe a police officer is genuine.
And this was when
May the 13th, the combined huddled on. I ran. They'd all drowned in the lower, the map, and then that the bourgeois are not human.
Now is not the time, Lieutenant Yefreiter.
I had to fight it. I could not.
And this was
May the 13th. I ran. They'd all drowned them, and then that the bourgeois are not human.
Now is not the time.
I had to fight it. It's not an island. What? It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last. The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world. Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone. Sure you are. You're RCM. And Iblis. The black-eyed angel.
Shaitan Ahura, the Darkened One.
It's not the congenitally coalition Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone. You don't know.
He nods. Shaitan Ahura, the Darkened One.
How does anyone survive? I steal.
Now hold on there.
You're insane and grotesque. Everyone steals. Vegetables, supplies. It's the life of a dog.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns. I have been running out of that stuff.
There's no way he could manage the pain without them. It's safe to say he is addicted to painkillers by now.
It's the little joys. The dark joke. A sunshiny day. Morphine. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund. I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of... I don't even know what. Inferno?
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on more and more each year. It's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
How does...
Now hold on there.
Supply...
How is your head?
I've been thrown...
He does.
DRC.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all. I haven't. I don't even know what. At least you know it. It's
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
It was hard in the tens. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, and others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequencies dead. At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing.
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right? Useless now.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground. I do. They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
An old man looks inland at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it, the new bâtiment twinkling in the...
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. You're the RCM. You take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black chalk. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
Honor is a feudal atavism. My moat, you're with the RCM. The coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. You're the RCM. Take me to them as...
A spray of blood. Rene, the royalist on the coast.
What? You're with the RCM. Rock and... Take me to...
A spray of Rene.
Liberal...
Is that part?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
You're insane. Radio shows, speed racing, sporting goods. No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army. Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
The old man does not answer. He tilts.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the idea.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a knight philosopher of the revolution, a future human.
Awakened from shutdown by the promise of, he was like a cleric, a shepherd.
No, the opposite of that. A future human, not a...
The old...
His job...
Scientific...
Awakened from... He was like a cleric, a shepherd. Okay then, over-mystified that a bit. He nods slowly, then another tremor.
No, you're not. A liberal and a pederast. It's what most liberals are.
Detective, we have come to...
The old man's... The expression on his face is unreadable.
No, I am not. Like you belong to the moralist party. No, trained in...
The old...
His job...
Scientific...
Awakened from... He was like a cleric. Okay then, over-mystified that a bit. He nods slowly, then another tremor.
No, you're not. You're part of the meat shield. The human...
Detective, we have come to...
The old man. The expression on his face is unreadable.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce. I've used it for killing people.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. Okay. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. This is what you live for. The great serotonin jackpot. The solution. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He does. No. Be careful now. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal. Nothing comes to you. Silence. His black eye.
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
Oh, yes. That one.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol.
Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. The gun. The scent of blood in the air. Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence.
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dras. Too long.
I'm ready to die.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part.
You're sad for your fascia brother, huh?
Almost. He almost burst out there. Keep piling arguments. Anything.
Not a lot of guns around that you...
It's a real gun. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons?
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? .46 jacketed ammunition. Good. This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this.
Murder.
This pushed him, but not enough. Just a little more. Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Class. There were Maybells in the nowhere else. Nowhere in all of Martinet. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust. You got it. Remember? The boot prints were like no...
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly. Nostalgic even.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. They blossom on the islets, the coast, too, before they pile their containers on top of it.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths?
I may. Classier.
He knows her, but hadn't heard the name.
My ears don't reach with the victim.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. A crooked smile. Yet don't leave any loose ends. Get him on everything.
Everything is brands with you in...
Show me the souls, please.
Fucking imbecile.
The maker is called Sansarique, and the size is 42 to 40. These are not the unusual horizontal pattern souls you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room.
The size fits, but not the soul.
Simpler? No. This is another loose thread you will never connect. The lieutenant raises his brow. What are you doing? He's thinking. We almost got him here. Not now. Stop yourself.
People change shoes, detective. It was you. What were you doing?
Trying to rack your brains. You're desperate to report.
The old man stared.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood. Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get south. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
Oh, the inhumanity.
The lieutenant raises. Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. While the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them. In phase. And I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, and so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
And you were looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night? Before...
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from. You can coax it out of him. The lieutenant's preparing the ground.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle?
A rifle's scope has the best magnification.
And if you don't like it?
Click.
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
He will not stop now. These dialectical materialist types never do. Exploit it. You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
Them. Fucking. I didn't like that. Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out. Soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die.
For him to stop reacting to stimuli. To be broken off from the world. Cordoned into darkness.
And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second. Writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But
this man has seen past her, like you did. And now he longs to see her covered in blood.
since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building.
Past the Fell building on the coast?
Hiding something in the water. Her passport and tickets to Villiers.
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the edge of the earth.
After she was gone.
Did you keep what was in it? When we found the submersible?
No. Why would I do that? I didn't need tickets to Villiers. I put them back.
This implies that he's thought about. Also, a little inconsistency here. He was surprised to hear her name Clausia before. Would he not have seen it on the documents?
You didn't say Clausia in there. Why would I need that trash? I'm not going to Villiers.
There it is again. The strange neurological state he's sometimes in.
It was something. I don't remember. It was dark that morning. I only remember her face on the photo. I did. She had a face like an archipelago, with those birthmarks. And a body, hard and lean and bruised. I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run. Revishal's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook? From...
She had different color hair on the photo. And glasses. Forged. Some...
He's setting it up for you. The bruises. You can't make that out in a scope.
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur.
It quickly comes to you.
Oh, yes. Cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife. Masturbating.
Did you make that hole?
With a clip-point knife.
Good for listening in, too. For hearing the moaning and the snorts.
Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass. I've been through all of Martinet. Yes, that too. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me.
Those two took the cake. You hear the familiar scribble of one more loose end down.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball walk.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an anti...
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took...
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union Box window.
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water.
Man needs to feel something else. It helps if you have your eye on something there. Something pretty. It's weakness, I know. No. I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, the day after I killed him. Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do. Maybe if you came 10 years ago.
In the silence, one more down.
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you. That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she, that Clausier? I haven't seen her there for days. Good for her. That girl kept staring into the scope, you know. In the end, this last week, kept at night, crying or smoking on the roof, like she knew I was here.
He knew she knows. She was...
We could get more.
Who knows what he's seen and done over the years? You could get more out of him. He likes talking.
A tragic comedy.
A strange little... The familiar put of hatred.
Specifically the holes. Because of the racists. Pump full of steroids and radio Revachol 92. Race this, race... Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square. Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. Intense, like animals, like those boom-boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist, every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Koyamorang, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even we did good.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language. There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people. Might be worth.
Whores. Syphilis is a disease Philippe III contracted in a whorehouse. The bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions on sparkling wine, cocainum, and monuments of himself. His son, Philip IV, the Insane.
That is technically possible, although Philippe III...
And he still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years. We lost 2 million lives toppling that. What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why? Forgot. The party had some advert.
Wait, the bullet hole in Philippe's heart. It had to be. He's already proven capable of taking a far more complicated shot from here.
I did. A needless, sentimental gesture.
Yes, shameful. So many others.
The fact...
He keeps having opinions about the union's leadership.
Another hit.
Disappointment. So personal.
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean, the brains of the operation. The smart one.
Edgar.
He talks a big game about uprising and social base. First against the wall with him.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez.
Of course. Maybe the Clears asked him to.
I haven't approached anyone.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him. Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left. Wouldn't rat me out. I was right about one of those things. I haven't approached anyone.
How did he know?
He didn't just stepped right off. I was right about one of them. 20 years ago.
That's around the time the Clears came to power.
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Mazov. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzoff. Oh, and charity, too. They love their charity. Oh, let me be here.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But
you know why I killed that fucker, Dwight. As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine.
Again? What have you done for Edgar before?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
okay, he didn't do the hanged man for them, but he's insinuating something. There is more here. You can feel it. He was not outright lying, but almost. The connection comes to you like a splash of...
Hey.
He acknowledges it. Here we go.
That bourgeois cow. Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation. And money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker. She was, and she was real soft on those money men. Had a Barbara Muskova bagger, called in, they say, on the eve of battle, ran away, vanished like a piss stain.
No, that's not quite it.
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter, was it?
No, I guess it was not. She couldn't make the call herself.
Here it is. The bend in...
Because she was dead?
Just say nothing.
The cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal grasping her tit and drowned. Or bled? Hard to say. It was a sloppy job. And a moving target. She was going home, waddling, dressed in yellow, drunk like she often was. The ruins are black around her, and she had a yellow leather bag under her, heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt, someplace like that, where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her. Someone shot her, or maybe the cow just fell. My memory is full of... Nothing changed.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the... If you were to testify to this, we would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW.
A degenerate worker state. Goat shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My days are short. I will rot away here. I saw it happen, and everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone.
The same old freezing hate. There is plenty here to work with once he's in custody. And the lieutenant knows it. He gives you a little nod to proceed.
Every fucking royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. I remember him, that one.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. Not even Gaston. Alone.
Fat and plump, like a pheasant. Just begging to be popped off. Please, not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face.
Save the treat for later?
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat. for the Black Day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, Rene. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately.
Hearing it may destabilize him. You sure you've gotten everything from him?
No. I waited too long. I waited too long.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross.
They're all dead now.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands. His health ailing.
And I blew them all.
He reminded him of himself. The same hatred. The same.
All human beings care about each other. Fuck you. You think I haven't seen people die?
He's not okay. This is just another black day, an idea, told to him by grown-ups, from radio towers and leaflets, in beautiful print, and then he lost it. So did they all.
Glad we talked about what?
His lip curls into a sneer.
Glad we talked about what?
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. For a man who's spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild, indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he great leaps of emotion, from anger to grief, despair. You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even. Not perhaps, but his seems more than that. The inner turmoil takes unexpected turns. In summary, you sense some underlying neurological disorder.
No, I'm not okay.
There it is again, erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been in.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must... Do you understand?
But... No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat. Not really.
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
You come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back?
What is this farce?
Lillian, you could ask her maybe.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking word.
No, listen. Listen now.
No, no, it would take a whole day on this island. You go and...
This world. The wind is... Your skin is crawling suddenly. A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb. It's still there. And
What are you talking about? There's nothing there.
the stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand rise instinctively.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't...
I can see it.
4 simple words, thank God. If you can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence.
Be very, very careful.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to... No, the flash will scare the creature off. Warn him now.
We need a photo.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden...
I won't be one of...
You see the phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
I don't think the pharaoh...
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air, slowly. Nothing changes. Its insect mind. A sudden... It moves just an inch closer to you. Something in its body language has changed, just slightly. The creek... There is a sadness in there. Or is it in you? From the dream. It's still with you. The pitiful, hey, you took slowly, with your breath held. You take 2 small steps toward the phasmid. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds.
Maybe it is real.
The insect's head breathing you in. Your sour, greasy semiochemicals. The insect. Suddenly, there is silence. As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if praying to you. Unwittingly, the insect continues its stridulations. As it moves, the insect suddenly, as you do, praying to you. The reed creature does not stop its stridulations. It towers. No reply. A total. You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature.
Careful. It may...
The foam slowly turns a darker shade, like burnt caramel, as the insect moves its mouth parts, masticating. The little bubbles begin to burst. What?
I exist. Tell me what it's like for you. What is your illness? I smelled it. As soon as you... Now I will tell you how it is for me. Tell me what it's like for you. Then I will tell you what it's like for me. Yes. Now, tell me. Fire? Where? That is your problem. For me...
So what if the next picture doesn't come? This creature is not the photographer, just the camera.
Shapes of plants, and I am at the end of a narrow funnel. Weightless. So light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have... Are you sure? Sometimes, when molting, I will grow a lost limb. One time something went wrong, and a small leg replaced a missing antenna. No, the leg tried to move around independently, making it hard to walk. Yes, thankfully someone ate it. So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect? I can also detect pheromone. So am I. Easy now. Very slowly. And only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him. No, you're awake. I am real. Not even the birds know that. Not even a water lily. I think we should eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth.
Wait, so...
Yes, they don't mind. Yes, I once cloned myself and ate the little ones. It was winter, and I woke up at the wrong time. It was an accident. I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmodia, endemic to the Insulandian Insula. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molting, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys. I went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Rebelshaw, district of my... No, you are. The moral of our encounter is, I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are total extreme madness. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident. We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms...
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. Please, do not do that again. No, you're only thinking it now. This is a revelation. Simian Butcher. Soon. No, the Pale too came with you. You're a vine which is back.
Instead of there, you
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? So, it is already. Which is back. Everything your eyes touch goes back there. Please be. Oh, it is an. You're a vine. Which is back.
Instead of there, you
Everything your eyes touch. So, it is already happening. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
It doesn't look like that, no. You're just staring at it. Okay. Is it somehow related to the case? I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
Tell me what it's like for you. Then I will tell you what it's like for me. What is your illness? I am not. Now I will tell you. Tell me what it's like for you. What is your illness? For me. Now I will tell you how it is for me. No, there is one more. Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class. You cannot lie to me. Behind you is... She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Okay.
there is no change in the insect's motion, while it's
In 3. If it moves.
the shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the
I got it.
immortalized for all time. The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the kiting curls into a spiral, like the tip of a poison ivy. It is surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young...
Be careful, detective. It's moving.
You were right. It glistens with some kind of moisture. The creature in front of you stays frozen. It tastes like sugar, very faint, odorless, mostly comprised of water. The limb before you is incredibly light. Warning! A sudden shiver passes the limb. Looks like the creature is awakening. Wave by wave, some sort of countdown process is happening. That's all you